Hello everyone, welcome back to Spelunky, where this time I have some delightful Nerds gummy clusters, not sponsored. But they are very tasty. So if you want to sponsor me, be my guest. I wonder if I even would take a sponsor. I feel like a lot of sponsors are kind of like scams these days. Like, I don't know. The problem with sponsors on YouTube is people always like, they treat you like a sellout. And to an extent I can understand it, I guess, but like at the same time it's like, if you want to get that bag, just get that bag, you know? I don't think you should feel bad about getting money. Ah, frick. I mean, hell, it's like, have you seen the shit, the prices that some people have been paid for, like, Raid Shadow Legends sponsorships? That's crazy. It's like, I probably would have taken a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. Have they ever sponsored me? I don't know. I guess it depends on how much. Because at the end of the day, I'm just like, get that bag, you know? Just, do whatever it is you need to do. I don't think there should be any shame. But at the same time, I can understand. I can understand the sentiment to a degree, because I mean, if you're taking sponsorships from something you don't even care about, it's like, well, you really are kind of giving your endorsement to just anything, and it doesn't really mean much. I think she's gonna die if I throw her at that, so I don't really want to do that. I don't know. I'm just of two minds about it, I guess. It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't blame anyone for taking a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. It really doesn't bother me, because it's like, well, I'm not gonna play it anyway. I'm gonna skip the ad read. I don't care. Shit. Okay. She's dead. Crap. Yeah, like, I'm gonna skip the ad read. It doesn't bother me. I don't really think, like, oh, this person's a shill because they got Ritual Legends and whatever. I don't know. Okay. But I do think it's like, if you can get sponsorships of something you actually like, I think that's good. Because, then it's like a genuine read. It's like a genuine ad. You actually do like it. And in fairness, even if you do, I guess there's no way to actually prove that you do like it. Maybe you're lying. Maybe you don't actually like it, and you're just doing it for the money. Maybe a lot of people are like, I love to do the sponsor because I've used them and I really like the services, and now I get to like have them sponsor me to do it. But it's like, I guess there's no way that you can actually prove that, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I think ad reads are mostly harmless. Again, especially if it's just for something like a gacha game or whatever. I really don't see it as a big deal. It's like, yeah, whatever, just get the money. But, I mean, if it's like a cryptocurrency, then I'm gonna be upset. Because why are you doing that? But do cryptocurrencies even exist anymore? That sounds stupid, I know, I guess, I know, but, like, I feel like it's all just, like, AI slop now. We've lost the epic Dogecoin slop, or whatever. People aren't talking about Bitcoin anymore. People only want to talk about the weird AI-generated gross baby. Just really strange. Man, I hate AI. AI sucks. The future stresses me out. Technology is scary. That's why I'm in the mines, because I don't have to worry about technology down here. I can make my own living, just throwing skulls around and junk. How did that not explode? Oh my gosh. That is terrifying. Well, how did it explode then? What happened? That was scary. I did not mean... I kind of froze. I was like a deer in headlights just then. Shit, dude, I forgot to plug in my PC again. This is actually the second recording session in a row for Spelunky that this has happened. That's just crazy. Come here. Literally, it's only Spelunky too. Yesterday, I recorded Kirby Air Riders, and I made sure to plug in my PC. And today, I'm recording Spelunky, and I just didn't do that, I guess. So what is it about Spelunky that makes me forget to plug in my PC? I don't know. I gotta remember to do that. Everyone, please comment. Remind me to plug in my PC when I'm recording Spelunky. We're gonna look a little bit for the key, but not too much, I don't think. Let's see, I was this way. It's probably this way somewhere. Oh, it's up there, which is rather inconvenient. It's okay, we don't need the black market. We're probably just gonna kill the shopkeepers anyway. So money, we don't really need money. Okay. Yeah, I think money is pretty useless if you are killing shopkeepers. Although... No! Ugh. Although, I mean, you do get high score. Like, I think the money is technically your high score. So... it's basically just for vanity if you're going for a shopkeeper murder run. Okay. Dude. Okay, that was unfortunate. That was an unfortunate something or other that just happened. Okay. See, that was very, very not smart, because that could have been a snake or something. There's nothing over there for me. But, you know, today I did buy the Dragon Quest Erdrick Trilogy HD 2D remake, because apparently Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D released And I just had no idea. It completely flew under my radar somehow. I really don't know how, because I love Dragon Quest. But somehow those games just completely flew under my radar. And it kind of baffled me. It kind of really took me off guard. So I bought... They're on sale. At the time of this recording. And I believe that around the time this uploads, they should still probably be on sale on Switch. So, yeah. That's fun stuff. Yeah. Genuinely just did not know that. And so I'm excited to play them, because I love the Urgic trilogy. And I have not played HD 2D Remake for 3, even though, I don't know, I've been kind of waiting for 1 and 2 to drop. Because I was maybe planning on playing 1 and 2 first, but then... Yikes. Well, now we are on we're on a shopkeeper murder run without any of the benefits of murdering the shopkeeper, so that's not good. Anyway, I really think that playing Dragon Quest 1, 2, and then 3 is like the best order to play them in, just in my opinion, for reasons that I'm not going to spoil or anything. But obviously, I mean, everyone knows Dragon Quest 3 is a prequel. Like, that's like barely a spoiler. That's like saying that Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3 are prequels. Like, it's really not that much of a spoiler. But I don't know. That's how I experience them. And I'm like, I think that's the best way to experience them. But, you know, this is from the mouth of the creator himself. So, you know, hey, if I guess that Dragon Quest 3, 1, and 2 is now the kind of definitive order, then whatever, you know, that's you know, I'm not gonna argue with the creator, and I don't think it's a bad order, for sure. I just am like, you know, I think it works actually better this way, but I don't know. Maybe the stuff that they've added to the remakes here have would make me change my mind. I don't know. Crap. I'm probably gonna play them that way. I've kind of thought about it a lot, you know. And seeing as 3, 1, and 2 are now the kind of preferred order, I suppose. And it's not like there's anything stopping anyone from playing 1, 2, and then 3 anyway. But seeing as that is kind of the way that they released for these HD 2Ds, then I think maybe I will just experience them that way this time. Now, in future playthroughs, and anytime I want to that was close. Anytime I want to replay them, I might just end up doing 1, 2, 3 anyway. But, you know, who knows? It's, is what it is. Preferred orders are always such an interesting topic to talk about, I think. Because it's just, realistically speaking, under most circumstances, there's really never like a terrible way to start. And I know that's controversial. I know that a lot of people that I love and respect would vehemently disagree. But I think that ultimately the place that you want to start should, like in anything, should just be what you want to start with. Now, I would definitely, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I would argue and disagree with and agree with, but it was last time we talked about Fate Grand Order, right? Well, going back to the Fate topic, I suppose, that's one of the things that people are like, that's the most confusing thing in the world. I want the jetpack! No! All I wanted was the jetpack. Can't a girl steal a little bit? Just for fun? Anyway. Oh, LMAO! Haha! You're stupid and dumb. Get out of here. Lol. Okay. Anyway, on the topic of Fate, it's one of those things that people say is like super confusing, and it's like, well, I think that's mostly just because a lot of the fandom treats it as being really confusing, because, shit, I did not think that was going to hit him. Realistically, it's really not. I'm not going to get, like, into the big Fate argument, because there's just so much to it, but I think ultimately, you know, with Fate, with the question of, like, anything, I have my orders that I would recommend people do things in, and I think there's a lot of things you can argue, but ultimately, I think just start where you want. I would give the recommendation of, like, start with, you know, Stay Night. But then people are going to argue about that a lot. Like, well, the anime are bad, so you should start with a visual novel. But, you know, fair enough. The animes are not, like, great adaptations of the source material. I think they... But, like, I watched them first. I have not read the visual novel yet. So I would be a hypocrite to say otherwise. But I do think that that's probably the best way to start with that. And then, you know, but... I don't know. As somebody who started with the original Dean anime, which everyone says is horrible, I really don't think it's as... I don't really think it's that bad. I don't think it's a terrible way to get into the franchise. Quite frankly. I mean, it kind of is. You know, there's a lot you can argue. There's a lot of nuance, but... You know, I don't know. I really like it. It's not... It's probably not a great adaptation, for sure. But just as its own little thing, I think it's perfectly serviceable to get one into the franchise. Just in my opinion. But yeah. I definitely would agree that starting with Fate Zero is, like, not a good place to start. Because that brings up a whole different topic of, like, prequels. And I really don't think that anyone should be starting with prequels. Because everyone's like, oh, well, you know, Fate Zero... It spoils Fate Stay Night. Well, not really, because it's a prequel. Like, that's how prequels work. People don't understand how prequels work. Because it's like, yes, Fate Zero spoils stuff from... Shit, I forgot I killed the shopkeeper. I forgot he was going to be there. Fuck. Man. I got too worked up with the argument, and that's probably why I got so sloppy. But anyway, people don't understand how prequels work, because yeah, the prequel is going to spoil aspects of the original. And the original obviously spoils the sequel, or the prequel, I mean. The original obviously spoils the prequel, because the prequel was made with the sequel in mind. With the original in mind, or whatever. You know, that's like saying that Star Wars Episode 1 spoils, you know, the original sequel, or the original trilogy, because, oh, Anakin Skywalker? Well, now you know that Luke Skywalker is the son, and it's like, whoa, it's crazy. Well, it's like, yeah, but you're not supposed to watch the prequels first. That would be kind of silly, in my opinion. I really think that you should watch the originals first, and then get the context of the background and the history from the prequels. Regardless of, you know, what you think of them, I think that's how it should probably be viewed. Because I love the prequels, honestly. Not so much Phantom Menace, but I do love Attack of the Clones, and I really love Revenge of the Sith. But you know, I would never recommend that you start with any of them. I would always say start with A New Hope, and I don't think that should be necessarily that controversial. But it's the same with, like, anything. It's like, don't start with prequels, in my opinion. Like Fate Zero. It's a prequel, don't start with it. Just read the visual novel, or at least watch the anime, but don't start with Zero, whatever you do. But then, like, on the top, circling back to Dragon Quest, which is where this whole thing started. In fairness, I think Dragon Quest is one of those series which doesn't matter quite as much. But I do really think that 3 worked so beautifully. Like, the games, when I played them, it worked so beautifully as just like this trilogy of 1, 2, and then 3. And you get so much more added context onto things as you go. And it's great. And I love it. I don't think that it would have the same effect if you played 3 first, but I also don't think it's going to be really that big of a deal, to be fair. It's just, that's how I... Have I got myself into a pickle here? I've gotten myself into a pickle. We're going to have to rope. That sucks. I probably made a lot of tactical errors just now, but, you know, let's just get out of here. Let's not worry about it. Because I also played Dragon Quest XI first, but Dragon Quest XI is, like... It has a lot of... what would you... Shit. I didn't mean to keep using that. I'm going to waste it all. Darn it. It has a lot of, like, parallels and stuff to Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, but... I mean... With Dragon Quest, you play them in any order. And that's another beautiful thing about Dragon Quest, and also Xenoblade, is that they are games that kind of build upon themselves in ways that, like... They build upon themselves... We're gonna do another... That was stupid. We're doing another run. I don't care. We're already at 20 minutes. We're doing another run. They're games that build upon themselves, and they kind of work really in any way. Because you play one game, and you play Xenoblade 1, and then you play Xenoblade 2, and it's like you have... Now you played Xenoblade 1, you have all the context and everything for all the, like, callbacks to Xenoblade 1, you know? And also with X as well. There's not quite as many callbacks to X in 2, but, you know. There are some, especially if you get the DLC, which obviously they literally add characters from those past games. But just in general, not even counting that stuff, you get all this extra, like, little references and like, callbacks and stuff that you wouldn't otherwise, like, understand as much. And I think it works great that way, but I think Xenoblade works well in the fact that even though in my opinion, I think the best order would just be release order, I still think that, like, you can realistically play just about any Xenoblade game in any order, and you'll still get that experience of, like, you know, watching all the context come in. Like, it's, you play Xenoblade 3, and then you play Xenoblade 1, and it's like, oh, well, now I understand, like, the stuff that's going on here, or whatever. I think it still works, and I think it's the same with, like, Dragon Quest, is you can play any of them, and you pick up still on all the themes, and like, whether you play them in order or a reverse order, you're picking up on that stuff, and it just works so beautifully. It all comes, like, kind of full circle, really. Like, there are games that work great in basically any order that you could play them in, and I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry. But obviously that's controversial, and I do think that, like, if I had to recommend, like, well, not if I had to, if I will recommend anyone play Xenoblade, I'm gonna be like, start Xenoblade 1, probably X if you want to. I would say X, but also it's like, well, it doesn't really connect to the core trilogy in terms of, like, in any conceivable manner. There's, like, there is references to Xenoblade 1. I would at least play X after Xenoblade 1, no matter when you're gonna play it. But, you know, for the core, like, main trilogy of games, X isn't as important, which, you know, whatever. And then play, you know, play 1, then maybe X, but then definitely 2, then 3, and, you know, play the associated DLCs alongside your playthroughs. Are you shitting me? What's this asshole doing? Get sacrificed, idiot. So yeah, I would say that. And then, but realistically, again, I'm not gonna, if someone wants to play Xenoblade 2 first, I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. Again, I would maybe offer some pushback to that notion. But I don't think it's like a terrible way to experience it. That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, really. The games, a lot of games and a lot of franchises kind of work. That was cool. I'm gonna clip that. that arrow really saved me. Anyway, I think a lot of things work better in various orders than people give them credit for, and I don't think there's... I think there's a lot of best orders for you, but I don't know that you're realistically, in many cases, going to have an objectively, like, best way to experience something. I'm getting out of here. That's scary. Anyway, yeah. It's an interesting topic to think about. Because it really is... Oh, I see it, actually. It's right here, isn't it? There's a lot of nuance and ways you can go about doing things, which is fun. Can I afford the shotgun? Perfect. Thank you. I'm only a little sorry about what I'm about to do. Ooh, that was close. That was so close. Dude, that almost went really badly. Alright, blast, blast, blast. Don't stop blasting until you clear the area. There we go. Jeez Louise. Okay. No! Oh. Dude, that's so stupid. I had it. I was pogging. Rats. I gotta be more careful when I around those shopkeepers. I really do. I thought I had it because he was laying down. I should have just waited. I should have waited. I shouldn't have done that. You get up and when the music starts and you're going blasting, you know, it gets intense. You get the adrenaline pumping, but you just gotta keep it cool, like a cucumber. Just cool like a cucumber. That's what we're gonna be doing next time. Is we're gonna be being cool like a cucumber. At least in theory. In practice, who's to say? Only you can, the viewer, can say next. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Will the next run be the cucumber run? Please leave your feedback in the mail, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.